Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and today we're going to be taking a look at what is on my Android device for mid-2020. Now the device in question is going to be the OnePlus 7T. I've been using this phone for maybe around 4 months or so, and it is great. I've done a whole revisit video which I'm going to link in that description down below, so if you guys want to see my thoughts and my overall opinions on this device, that's where you will find it. Now we're going to go over some of the applications that I use on a regular basis. This isn't going to be super in-depth because I'll be honest with you guys, I do use my phone mainly as a phone unless it's for a YouTube video. So a lot of the applications that you're going to find on here, maybe some of these stock applications or just something that you guys are already using, but I thought I'd let you know anyway. So if all goes to plan, you should be seeing what is on my home screen just here, and we're just going to go through the applications that I've currently got and give you guys a bit of insight in regards to how I actually use my device. So first off, we have my main home screen. Now this wallpaper will be linked in the description. I've got a whole Google Drive folder now full of wallpapers, so anytime you see a wallpaper here on the channel, it's going to be in that folder for you guys to download and use for yourselves. So we've got the applications down the bottom. As you can see, I do keep it very simple and very minimal with my setup. I don't really have a ton of things on screen at any one time. I just kind of have, just what I would use on a regular basis. So first up we have Outlook. Now that's what I use for anything YouTube related for Copper vs Glass. Now I do use Gmail for my personal email, but for some reason when it came to YouTube and just getting, tech review, tech products and things like that, I just wanted a different place to keep them. I like the way that Outlook works, and I've just actually enjoyed using it, which I haven't really ever done with Outlook before. We've then got Google Photos, which obviously you guys are going to know. Now for me, Google Photos is one of those applications that it's just so simple to use. Once you've got it on your phone, you don't have to worry about uploading photos, editing, or changing anything. It all uploads to the cloud. You can access it from pretty much any device, whether it's Android, iOS, on your desktop, Mac, PC, wherever you are, you're going to have your photos with you. It's also got a really robust built-in photo editor as well. So once you get into a photo, head down to settings down the bottom, and then it's going to take you into the editing section. Now you do have some presets on the bottom here, but I like to go in and tweak the photo myself. You can change things like the color, the lights, plus if you click on the down arrow, you've actually got a ton more options that some people may or may not know about, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. But Google Photos for me is a must. Anytime I get a device, it's one of the first applications that I install, just so that I know that all of my photos are going to be in one place and backed up to the cloud and safe. Next up then we have Snapseed, and fun fact, pretty much every thumbnail that I actually have here on YouTube has been done using Snapseed. Even something like this photo here, this has actually been edited in Snapseed in terms of all the colors and everything like that. I'm pretty sure if I go... Okay, I can't do it because it's an old photo, but most of the time you can see any kind of old edits that you may have done to a photo. But for me, Snapseed just has such a robust library of tools. Obviously, you can do things like tune the image, details, white balance. You can add blur effects. If you actually go into tune image, again, swiping up and down, you can see all of the different options that you've got to choose from. So for me, Snapseed is a must when it comes to photo editing. Yes, the photo editor built into Google Photos, like I mentioned, is good, but if you want something dedicated, Snapseed has you covered. We've then got Spotify. You will know what that is. That's where I keep all of my music. I don't use anything like YouTube Music, Apple Music, Google Play, anything like that. I've been using Spotify for quite some time now, so in terms of my library build up and everything like that, that's where I would go. You then got the YouTube Studio application. This is where it's going to have all the information, analytics, comments, everything for the channel. So again, taking that out and about is vital. If I need to do anything like respond to any comments or anything like that, that's usually the place I'm going to do it, as opposed to on the desktop. In the second row then, in my dock, we do have the camera, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, and YouTube. Again, pretty much the 5 most standard applications for any device. Obviously, Instagram is where I go to post pretty much all of my photos, whether it's personal or YouTube related. And again, if you guys want to follow me, it's going to be linked in that description box down below. And Twitter is where I go mainly for my tech news. Obviously, there's a lot of different stuff on Facebook and things that you kind of have to go through to get to the information that you want. And you'll actually see in my dock in a moment, I don't actually have Facebook installed for pretty much that very reason. It doesn't have the information that I want, and I don't really care what some people from maybe 10, 15 years ago are doing. So for that up-to-date tech news, I usually use Twitter, and also just in general for most day-to-day news. Then if we actually head into my application drawer, if I just do a quick swipe up and down, you can see that I don't really have a ton of applications, even in my hidden section, not really too much going on either. So obviously along the top row here, we've got things like All 4 for TV, Amazon, Angry Birds 2. Now Angry Birds for me is just one of those games that I keep on most devices. It's easy to pick up and play, and it's just quite a fun game to play if I'm being honest. We then have Appy Weather. Now this is my weather application of choice. I've been using it pretty much since it came out, and I have featured it here on the channel a couple of times, but for me it has all the information that I need with regards to hourly forecast, daily, and it's got all of the information for the widgets and things that I use as well. Obviously the widget that I've currently got on my home screen is from Appy Weather, and it just allows me to see all of the information that I need to with regards to how the weather is currently going. Next up then, across from that, we do have backdrops. Now this is an application where I get a ton of my wallpapers from. If I just head over to my favorite section, you'll probably see some wallpapers here that you may have seen on the channel before. So again, these ones aren't necessarily going to be in that Google Drive folder because I do use them so regularly, but if it's a specific wallpaper, again, it will be in that folder for you guys to use. Overall, the wallpapers that you've got here on backdrop, they've got some really nice color to them. A lot of them are maybe a bit bright and vibrant that some people may not be a huge fan of, but for me, they've got some really nice designs to them, and a lot of the wallpapers are actually exclusive to the application, meaning that you can't get them anywhere else. On the next row then, we have the calculator, calendar, Call of Duty Mobile. Now, Call of Duty Mobile, again, is one of those games that is very easy to play on mobile. Now, I didn't think that I'd be kind of saying that based on previous Call of Duty games. You know, the Twitch shooter sort of game, you have to have super fast reflexes. If you don't, it's not a great experience. Call of Duty Mobile, for me though, has it down to a T in regards to the gameplay experience, how the graphics look, and the overall game performance. On my OnePlus 7T, it's pretty much running at a steady 60 frames per second all the time, even when there's a ton of stuff going on with the screen in terms of some of the effects and things like that. So overall, if you're looking for some nostalgic Call of Duty with some old maps that you're definitely going to remember, then again, Call of Duty Mobile definitely has you covered. We've then got the camera again, Google Chrome, the clock, contacts, Deliveroo. If I want to get a cheeky takeaway, that's probably where I'm going to be doing it. Disney Plus, again, is one of those applications that I didn't think I would use as much as I currently do, but as you can see, it's got pretty much everything on there that I enjoy. We've got some Disney movies, Pixar, Marvel, which has basically every single Marvel thing you can think of. Obviously, there are some properties that haven't yet come over, but maybe that'll be coming down the pipeline. And then you've also got some other things as well. So again, you've got all of the Star Wars movies as well, including The Mandalorian, which I would definitely recommend checking out. And then you've also got some National Geographic shows. Again, The World According to Jeff Goldblum is one of those shows that I would definitely recommend watching. So again, Disney Plus is one of those applications that, yes, you can try it out, see how it goes, but for me, I've been using it pretty much daily to watch some awesome shows, and it has every episode of The Simpsons on there as well, which is definitely something to keep in mind. Next up then, we've got Google Drive, Fortnite Mobile. I really only use that for some daily challenges. I wouldn't say that I play Fortnite on my phone a ton. I usually save that from my desktop, for example, or on the iPad at 120 frames per second, but it's there if I want to just have a quick game. Then got the Funko application, and this is where I keep track of all of the bobbleheads. You may see some just up here behind me, and again, it's just something that I like collecting. This has pretty much my whole collection in there, so again, I can keep track of the value of my collection, all of the bobbleheads that I've currently got, so it's a nice place to track it. It's very easy to put a new Funko Pop on there. All you have to do is scan the barcode and you're pretty much set and then ready to go. Next to them, we've got GeForce Now for some streaming gameplay, and I've done a whole video comparing Stadia to GeForce Now, which again is going to be linked in that description down below. I've then got Gmail, the Google application, Hillside Drive, which is a great game, and again, I have done a previous video of some of the more simple games available for Android, going to be linked in that description. I would definitely recommend checking it out. At the moment, where obviously we're staying in a lot, we can't really do too much. Having a really awesome, simple game to play to take up some time is quite handy to have. Again, then we've got Google Keep, we've got Lens Distortion, which is one of those applications that I use again quite regularly to just add some flair and effect to my photos. Obviously, excuse the pun, you can actually add flares to photos if you want to, but overall, if I want to add something a little bit different, so this photo here, for example, if I wanted to just do something simple like actually add an entire sun, then again, I can do, and it's very simple to do. Then got Google Maps, Messages, my banking application, Netflix. Overdox, which is a game that I'm really only just getting into, so I can't give my full thoughts and opinions on that game just yet, but it seems quite promising at the moment. We then got PayPal, Phone, the Play Store, Amazon Prime Video. I'm actually finding a lot more shows on Prime that I do enjoy watching, a lot more series as well. So again, I will have a link for that down below, so if you guys want to check out any shows, again, it's quite a good place to maybe find some new shows that you may not have been watching before. We've then got Resplash, which is an Unsplash client. Now, I love Unsplash clients. They've got a ton of awesome wallpapers and they're very high quality. You can download pretty much every single one of them in raw formats. So again, even if you want to edit them, change them, do what you want, it's a great application to get some awesome wallpapers or just some great ideas for somewhere to take some photos. A lot of the photos taken within the Unsplash client or Resplash that I currently use actually has the location. So if you want to go and take your own photo and try and mix it up a bit, it's a great place to find some new locations. And then finally down at the bottom we do have again the speed test application, which is what I use to check internet speeds, 4G, etc. We then have the Stokey Pro application. Now this has all of these stock wallpapers from pretty much any device that you can think of. If you're looking for the newest Honor wallpaper, Sony Xperia, Google Pixel 4, it's got all of the wallpapers that you can think of. They're pretty much all full resolution. Some of them have been upscaled. So even like a wallpaper from the iPhone 3G, for example, may have been upscaled so that it looks better on newer devices. And it just has a massive library of some stock wallpapers that I think look great on a ton of devices. A lot of the time, stock wallpapers look the best on a device. So if you want to mix it up, change it around, this application definitely has you covered. And then we have the Xbox Game Streaming, again a streaming platform for getting your Xbox games or your Game Pass games and playing them out and about. For me, it is still in that stage of needing a bit of work. Sometimes the games do lag a little bit, they don't look the best, so it's still one to keep an eye on, but again, hopefully they update it sooner rather than later. We've then got the LG Tone Free application, and this is the app that I use to control the equalizers, check the battery life, etc. of my LG wireless headphones. True Skate is an awesome skateboarding game. It's again a very simple game, but as you can see here, you basically just use your thumb to move the skateboard around and your thumb or your fingers are basically going to be the actual skateboard itself. Now again, it's one of those games that can be a little bit hard to master over time, or if you want to practice and just kind of go back and do the same thing over and over to get that perfect trick, then you can do, and it's a little bit addicting sometimes to try and hit it just right so that you can then land that trick, and I'm not doing it for this one, something like that basically. But again, a great game, it can take up some time if you need it to. We've then got the weather application built into the OnePlus device, but for me, again, like I mentioned, I do use Appy Weather, WhatsApp, YouTube, and YouTube Studio. We've then got my hidden applications, and this is just where I keep some of my junk applications, or maybe some Android customized applications that I don't really want to have in my main application drawer. So things like icon packs, launchers, or some duplicate applications like the calculator, clock that are built into the OnePlus device that, again, I'm using the Google version, so I just put them over here in the hidden section so that you can't really see them. And that's going to do it, guys, for this video on what's on my device for 2020. And again, like I mentioned, it's not the most amazing setup, but it works for me. And like you can see in this video, I do keep everything very stock, apart from maybe the icon pack, like I mentioned, using the Minty icon pack currently. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. And if you've got any questions or comments, let me know in the comments section below or on Twitter at Copper vs Glass. Again, for that revisit of the OnePlus 7T, that's going to be linked in the description. And if you guys aren't already subscribed, now is a great time to do so. And once you've subscribed, turn on that notification bell so you're notified anytime that I post a new video here on the channel. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.